Yeah, sure. I'll just is it visible now?
Yeah, fine, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so let's do this question here. So let's check the options one by one. The first option says that a minus 5x plus 4y minus 1 equals to 0. This line and this line x by 4 minus y by 5. The lines, we know that the slopes are equal. So M1 and M2 should be equal. Find the slope of this line. It's y equals to 5x plus 1 by 4. This is, we have y by 5. Y equals to 5 by 4 x. Right? And how do you find the slope of this line? So in that line in y equals to mx form,
M1 and M2 equal, it's parallel.
right line in slope intercept form, and that form is y equals to mx plus c. In this form, and slope is the coefficient of x, right? So it is n, this n, the coefficient of x. So this, if this is line L1, this is line L2, then the slope of L1 is,
5 by 4.
call it M1, it's 5 by 4,
5 by 4.
and M also 5 by 4. Both of them are equal. Both the lines are parallel.
Yes, ma'am.
I have the second option. It's about the area of it talks about the area the area of a triangle formed by 3 points in the xy plane is 0, then the 3 points should be collinear. So collinear first, what are collinear points? Collinear points are the points that lie in the same line. And that means like this. They should be in the same line. One line should pass through these 3 points. So if you'll have a triangle that has area 0, so this triangle has some area. But if you will bring this point on the same line, so these are 3 lines here, right? This is one line, and these two are other 2 lines. So 3 points are this point, and this point. So if you bring this point on this line, then the area will become 0, right? This is still not this point, the other point is still not on the line. But if it will be exactly on that line, then the area of the triangle becomes 0, right? So that means if you have to find the area by of these 3 points, the triangle formed by these 3 points, then it's 0. Why? Because you can also look at it as the height becomes 0, right? There's no height of this triangle, so it becomes 0. So the area of ABC is 0 if ABC are collinear. Then coming to the third option. Third option is about the slope of a line passing through the point 1, 0 and minus 2 comma k, and it's given to be 1. 1, 0, 1 point and minus 2 comma k. This is first point, this is second point, then the line, let's call this x1, x2. So if there are 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, then the slope of the line that passes through these points is given by y1 minus y2 by x1 minus x2, right? So y1 is 1, sorry, 0. Y1 is 0, right? If you compare these, y1 is 0 and y2 is k, so this becomes minus k. And x1 minus x2 becomes 1 minus of minus 2, so it's 3. So this is minus k by 3. And the option says that the slope of the line that passes through these points is given to be 1. So the slope is given to be 1. This implies that your k should be equals to minus 3. The option says the k should be equal to 3, right? This should be an incorrect option. This one was also correct. And then there are two lines given. You have to check if they're perpendicular to each other or not. In option D, the lines given are 4x plus 5y, and here we had 8x plus 10y, I guess. X and 8y. Constants, though they don't matter, but let's just still write them. This is minus 16 and this is plus 10. If these two are lines, and you have to check if they are perpendicular or not, then you have to check if the slope of, let's say the slope of this is L1, this is L2. Then let's just call the slope of this M1 and this M2. If they're perpendicular, M1 into M2 should be minus 1, right? Perpendicular lines. This is M1. From here, you again write it in slope intercept form. So this becomes y equals to minus 4x by 5. The other constant part does not matter for slope. Let's still write it. Here your y becomes
4
minus
by
10x.
on there, maybe it's 10 from 5.
We have a negative sign. So then this becomes 10x by 8 plus 16. So the slope from here is minus 4 by 5. And from here it is 10 by 8, which is the same as 5 by 4. And if you multiply these two numbers, M1 and M2, you will indeed get M1 into M2 equals 1. That means the lines are perpendicular. I think this option should be fine. With this question. Does anyone have, if you guys have any doubt in any of the given questions, then you can just ask.
No.
Give this question a try. The question visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Give this one a try. This is very easy. It should take less than half a minute.
That is R.
Okay, let's just
Ma'am, actually, this should be mod of R.
R.
let's. The point is given to be r cos theta and r sin theta, and the other point is 0, 0. Then the distance between 2 points is, if x1, y1 and x2, y2 are 2 points, distance between these 2 points is given by
Root under X minus
plus y2 minus y1 square, or you can have y1 minus y2 square, it doesn't matter. This. So substituting these values, comparing these values and substituting them here, you get r cos theta squared plus r sin theta squared, r sin theta minus 0 squared. So it's r sin theta only, we don't need to write 0. And then square root of this. And this should be r squared and then cos square theta plus sin square theta. And square root. This should be just r squared. And the square root of r square is, so if you have,
R.
this is just r. It won't be mod r, it's just r. For example, let's say you have 3 and then you have it squared here. Then you take the square root of 3. This entire thing, you just get 3.
3
The mod thing that you're talking about is,
Ma'am, if R is -3, then
if you have minus 3 here, you square it and then you take the square root. Then also, see, this mod means when you have a mod function, then this in itself means that the value is going to be positive. It cannot be negative, and it doesn't. Okay. It, right.
ma'am, just because we are
Yeah,
considering the
I understand.
distance, so
If the square root is
minus
3, then it is a complex number.
mod r. This is going to be 3, which is mod of minus 3. So it should be mod r. But the question, how is the question
But
phrased?
the
Of
distance
the
is
point.
always positive.
Yeah. So it's phrased as distance here. So it should be taken as plus, the positive part. But the point here is, we don't know what r is, right? It could have been minus half cos theta and minus half sin theta. And then the distance would be half, right? So, which would mean mod of minus half. That means if your r is negative here, it depends on r, and it's not stated in the question that r is a positive number. So it should have been mod r, which is missing in the options. The answer should have been mod r.
Then it will be A.
Sorry, what?
Then, according to question, we will write option A as answer only.
Yeah, according to these options, you can only mark this one correct. But the correct answer should be mod r. Because this r is in the question, it's not given that your r is greater than 0, right? It's nowhere mentioned. Is this fine to everyone? Is this question clear?
yes, ma'am.
Or now, actually, none of the options is correct. The correct answer is mod r only. And it's not given in the options. This is the answer. Okay. next question. If the previous one is clear. Give this question a try.
Today it was being discussed in the TA session. Yeah.
One.
Answer is A, B. A, B,
But
C, D.
this question is already discussed in the TA session, is it?
Yeah. It was in the extra practice assignment.
Okay. So should we move to the next one then?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
no one has a
Ma'am,
problem in this one. Yeah.
I guess many of us are not attending TSS1, so
Yeah, please, you can take.
Okay. So let's do it here then. Let's say you have, so A is, if you have this thing, let's draw the this axis first. You have this as y-axis, this as x-axis. Then it says A is let's just draw the A lines, the A set with this red one. So every line that I'll draw with the red pen would be the line in A. Let's see how the lines in A look. So it says all lines are parallel to x-axis. So this is your x-axis and you need every line to be parallel to this axis. So parallel to x-axis are these lines, right? These are the lines that are parallel to all these lines. These are all parallel to x-axis. I might not have drawn them very nicely, but they're all parallel. And then, so this is your A set. Every line that has been drawn with red pen, is in set A. And then let's draw the lines in set B with the red one, or the green one. So the lines in B they're all perpendicular to the y-axis. So this is your y-axis. So any line that is perpendicular to y-axis is like this, right? It makes an angle of 90 degree with y-axis. So this is your y-axis. 90-degree angle looks like this. It looks like this, perpendicular with please, whoever has muted themselves, please mute yourself. So if this is these green lines have to be there in set B and they have to be perpendicular to y-axis. They have to make an angle of 90 degree with y-axis, like this one and like the other ones. So the green ones are in set B and the red ones are in set A. And if you see, so it's essentially the same set, right? Because eventually you get all the lines parallel to x-axis and perpendicular to y-axis, whether they are in set A or in set B. Is this point clear?
yes, ma'am.
So that means every line that is in A is parallel to x-axis. That means, let's say your line belongs to A. This means your line is parallel to x-axis. This means it's perpendicular to y-axis because x-axis is perpendicular to y-axis. This means your L lies in B. And same way you can do it for these steps. So if L1 is in B, then L1 should be parallel to y-axis. And then L1 should be perpendicular to y-axis and it should be parallel to x-axis then. And this should imply this. Is this okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that means your A and B sets should be the same sets. That's your second option, right? That means B option is correct. Then the first option says that your A intersection B should be equal to A union B. Now A and B are same. That means your A coming to first one. A union B should be equals to, because A and B are same sets. So if you have same sets, if you have a set, this union means the union of this. If this is your universal set, this box is your universal set. then the union means this, right? This is the union. And if A and B are same, that means the union is going to be equal to A, right? If both of these sets become same, then the union is going to be A, which is the same as B. Now coming to the intersection part, your intersection is A intersected with B, and A and B are same sets, right? This means A intersected with itself. And when you take the intersection of a set with itself, you get the same set, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That means your A union B and A intersection B. They are both A and B, right? That means these two sets are same. A union B is the same as A intersection B, which is the same as A and B. Now let's check which option says so. This option should be correct then, right? A should be correct, B should be correct, C should be correct as well. Now if you take A minus B, because A and B are same sets, if you A minus B means, what does A minus B mean graphically? Sorry, in Venn diagram, it means this thing. Two things here, this and this. If this is A, this is B, then A minus B is the set, the part in A that does not lie in B, right? So this is going to be A minus B thing. This is A minus B, right?
Yes, ma'am.
A minus B, and now because your A and B are same, that means you're removing, this is your A and this is your B. That means you're removing B, the same set, from that set only. That means you'll get nothing. If you have 1, 2 in one set and then you have other set 1, 2. And if you remove this set from this set, you get nothing, right? That means
Empty
you get
set.
an empty set. So it should be this. B should be correct. And then about the complement. So for you to know the complement of a set, let's say this is your Venn diagram. And you need to know the complement of A union B, right? And the complement is this part.
Ma'am, one doubt, like A minus B implies that the elements are in A but not in B.
Yes, that's
So
what it
all
implies.
elements of A would be there. So option D may be incorrect. Like the A minus B.
Okay, let's see what A minus B means. A minus B means you have this set A. Let's say you have 1, 2, 3. A is 1, 2, 3, and B is equals to 1, 2, 4. Then A minus B set is going to be just 3. So you remove that part of B which lies in A. Now let's say your B is equals to 4, 5, 6. Then because 4, 5, 6 are not in this set A, that means
Understood,
your
ma'am.
A will remain the same.
Understood, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to this last option, for you to find the complement of a set, let's say you have A, then you have B, and you need to find the union is this, right? This entire thing taken together. And then the complement of it should be this, right? So it depends on the universal set. Now, if your universal set U is equals to all lines, all straight lines in XY plane, this implies your A union B is going to be the collection, A union B complement is going to be the collection of all lines in XY plane. That are not parallel to x-axis, or you can say such that slope of L1 is not equals to 0, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That should be the complement of A union B if your universal set is this.
Ma'am, here, how can we take into assumption that our universal
So we don't have to
set?
take it. You don't have to take that assumption. We were just doing this extra part. This question says that an A minus B complement is empty, right? Now we know that A minus B set is for this E option. We are not doing this thing for the E option. This is something extra that I was trying to tell. For E option, what we do is we know, was it A minus B? Okay. So A minus B is empty set, right? For A minus B complement to be empty, what would you want? You want your universal set to be empty, right?
Ma'am, I didn't get. I mean, what is our universal set here?
We have not been given the universal set, but it doesn't matter. Let's just see this thing. Let's say you have a set X and you say that this X set is empty, and then you say the complement of this set is also empty. What does this mean? We know that X union X complement is the universal set, right? That means the
Yes.
entire set that you have to consider, entire thing. And we know the universal set obviously has A and B, right? A and B both sets are in the universal set, right? If this is the universal set here, B is also here, right? That means the universal set is not empty, correct? And there's no point to take universals. If you're taking the entire universal set to be empty, then what are we even discussing, right?
Okay, ma'am.
And we even have evidence because A is in universal set and there are elements. A is not empty. That means universal set is also not empty. But if your X is empty, X complement is also empty. That means empty union empty should be equals to empty. That means the universal set should be empty, right? Can you take, is there any sense to take the universal set to be an empty set? Universal set is a set in which all the other sets are empty. Whatever sets you're going to discuss.
Okay, ma'am.
Can't
Ma'am,
be that
means
set to be empty.
this option would be correct if the universal set is empty, right?
It can't be empty. That's
It
you.
can't be empty. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am.
Universal set never is a universal set taken to be empty. Because universal set, if you're going to discuss something, this is every set that you'll be discussing is going to be in this set, universal set. Now, if this entire set is empty, then what are you even discussing? Then we don't have a problem to start with, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Universal set is never empty.
Ma'am,
Yes.
So here the universal set
no,
should be the set A. Is that, ma'am?
No, universal set, we're not given that. But we're
Oh,
sure that your universal set can't be empty. This thing we're sure of, right?
okay, okay, okay.
We have not
Okay,
been
ma'am.
given anything else about universal set.
ma'am,
Yes.
in this, could you please explain that? Yeah. In option D, A minus B is equal to not 5, isn't it? But we know that A is equal to B.
Yeah.
Means if we subtract all the elements of B, A, if we subtract all the elements of B from A, we get nothing because A and B both are equal.
Yeah. So this option,
That
that's
will
why
be,
it's correct.
oh, okay,
We have an equal here, right?
Oh.
Equals to empty set.
It's
Okay. Does anyone have a doubt in this question? Can we move on to the next one?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Please.
Then we have this question. Give this a try. And actually, it's an easy question, so let's do it here only. You guys want to give it a try, or should we do it here right away? Okay, let's do this here.
I'm good with it.
this says that there's a line which cuts off an intercept 4 on the x-axis. That means if this is your y, this is your x, 1, 2, 3, 4. The line cuts the x-axis here, and this point is 4, 0, and passes through the point 2, -3.
And A.
So 2, -3. It doesn't matter where it is. It passes through 2, -3. The other point that it passes through is 4, 0. Right? You have 2 points now. And you have to find the equation of a line. There's a unique line that passes through these two points, right? 2, 3, -3 would be here, and -3 somewhere here. So there's a unique line that passes through both of these points. Only one line does so. Let's find that line by using 2-point form. So equation of line passing through x1, y1 and x2, y2. It's given by x minus x1. But first we should take y, right? Y minus y1 equals to y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2 into x minus x1. Or in place of this y1 and x1, you can also take or y2 or x. So this x1 and this y1. Let's consider these 2 points. One as x1, y1, the other one as x2, y2. So you will get y minus 0. So this is just y. Then y1 minus y2, which will be 0 of minus 3. So it's just going to be 3. And then x1 minus x2. So it's going to be 4 minus 2, which is just 2. And here you'll have x minus, because we're taking this point, 0 here and 4 here. We've just substituted these values, x1 equals 4, y1 equals 0, all of these values in this equation. That's it. This gives you y equals to 3 by 2x minus 6. Right? This should be the equation then. Let's check what's given in the options. In this form, so we should take it as y minus 3x plus 4.
12.
Yeah.
It should be 12, 3 into 4.
Thanks. This is, then it should be 6, right? Because we have 6 on this side. 2y minus 3x plus 6. We should have 6 here.
Ma'am, 3 into 4.
By 2. We have a 2 here.
Ma'am, but you just cross multiplied
Okay.
at y that 2.
Then it to this side. Then this is 3x. Yeah, this we get 12 here. Okay. This should be the answer. And it's
Option A.
Option A is the answer.
A matches this 3x minus 2y equals 12. 3x on that side minus 2y and 12 on this side.
Then
In
maybe
this time,
minus 12 है.
sorry, what? If you rewrite this thing, you will have 3x on that side minus 2y equals 12. This is just rewritten. 3x minus 2y equals 12. Is this okay?
Minus, ma'am, minus 12. 12 will be minus 12. Then it go to other side of equal. Then the correct answer is C.
No, it's
3x
this.
minus 12
We're
will
not
be
taking
minus.
12 on the other side. We're taking these two on the other side. This is the equation that we get, right?
Okay, okay.
If this question is clear, can we move to the next one? This is clear to all,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Let's do this one then.
I have a doubt.
Yeah. What is it?
The 2 points equation is y minus y1 equal to m into x minus 1, which means y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 only, ma'am.
What is your doubt?
The formula for the 2 points is y
Yeah.
minus y1 equal to m into x minus 1, which is m is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2
Same
minus
thing.
x1.
If you'll take y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, it's the same thing as y1 minus y2 by x1 minus x2. You take minus common from here and minus common from here, right? These are the same things. And then the negative
Yes,
sign gets cancelled. The order doesn't matter. You can write y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 or y1 minus y2 x1 minus x2. It's the same thing.
If we in this method, in that method, we get 3x plus 2y equal to 12, ma'am. I solved it.
Okay, let's do it your way. What have you solved? First, you solved m, right? And you use this form y2 minus y1 by
y1
x2 minus x1. Okay. And the points are 4, 0, and 2, comma minus 3. This is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2, right? Now, if you will put y2 here, it's minus 3. Y1 is 0, minus 0. Then your x2 is 2, and x1 is minus 4, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So this becomes minus 3 by minus 2, which is
Okay,
3 by
okay.
2, right?
Okay, ma'am. Sorry, sir. I wrote only minus 3 by 2. It's my mistake. Sorry for that.
If there's no doubt so far till this question, then let's do this one. Give this question a try, then we'll do it here. So, is anyone done? You guys need more time. Or can we just do it here? Do you guys need time to solve this question, or shall we do it in the class? Is anyone trying this question?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, we are trying.
Yes.
Okay.
It will be option D.
Okay. Someone has suggested this option. Let's check.
Yes, ma'am, option D from my side also.
Given if the x-intercept of some line L is double as that the line of this. Let's call this line L1. This is 3x. plus 4y equals 12. And let's take line. They say that and let's take the slope, the x-intercept, because they're talking about x-intercept and y-intercept of L. This capital L. This is a line. Let's denote the the x-intercept of this by Lx and y-intercept as this. This is x-intercept of L. And let's take the x-intercept of this small l. The x-intercept of this small l is this and y-intercept is this, right? So they say that the x-intercept of some line L is double as that of this line, of this small l, right? That means Lx is equals to 2 times small lx. Y-intercept of
If I'm
this
not wrong, your voice is sometimes losing, like as if you are speaking from a very distance. Sometimes it's very audible. So I'm not sure whether if I'm having this issue or all of us.
Yeah, same issue here also.
Sound quality is very bad.
Okay, so
Yeah, it is happening, but it is okay for us. I mean, there is not
okay, I'll
some.
try to place the mic a little closer to me. Is the sound better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have, it's given that the x-intercept of capital L is 2 times the x-intercept of small l. And it's given here that the y-intercept of capital L is half times the y-intercept of small l, right? These two are given to you. This information is given to you. Let's find the x-intercept of, how do you find the x-intercept of a line?
Ma'am, we can
Minus a
convert
by
this equation into intercept form. It would be easier.
Yeah, for x-intercept,
For
We can
x
Minus
divide
a
by
by
X
12.
we just
intercept y will be
put the
0.
value of
So
y to be 0, and for
so
y-intercept,
x will be 12. Sorry, x will be 12. 3 which is 4. So for this
minus a
equation,
by a.
the x intercept is 4, and if we double
so
it,
for
then 8.
x-intercept, okay, for x-intercept, or if you're
We
doing,
use
or for y-intercept, if, okay, this is going to confuse you.
Or
And
we
for
can
y-intercept,
divide by 12.
yeah, you can do that too. But I think this one's just easier. Of a line, x equals to 0, and solve for y, right? So for the x-intercept, in this line, you should put y equals to 0. So you will get 3x equals 12. And then you should solve for x. So this will give you x equals to 4. That means this is your x-intercept for the line L, right? So this implies that your Lx is 4. And then for y-intercept, you should put x equals to 0 and solve for the remaining equation. So it gives you 4y equals 12. This implies your y equals to 3, or the intercept of this given line, y-intercept should be 3. If there's any confusion in any of the steps, you can just ask at
no.
that given time when we're discussing it. Okay, so if you substitute these values here, you'll get capital Lx equals to 2 times 4. So it's 8. And here you'll have half times 3. So this is 3 by 2. So your y-intercept is this, x-intercept is this, and then the question asks the slope of the line, right? So if your x-intercept is 8, that means 8, 0 is a point on the line, right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then the second point is your y-intercept is 3 by 2, that means 0, 3 by 2 is also a point on the line. and you just have to find the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points. The slope is, you can just do 3 by 2 minus 0, this minus this, and then 0 minus 8. So it's going to give you minus 3 by 16. So it's this option then.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this okay to everyone? Can we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's do this one then. Give this question a try.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Is anyone done trying this question? Did someone want to ask something?
Trying.
Okay.
Ma'am, is it 9 and 7?
It has to be a ratio, right? And it's not 9 and 7. If you mean 9 is to 7.
No. Okay. I have just intercept.
Is it 3:1?
No, it's not 3:1. Let me just write here what you have to do. And then you can try this question. So what you've been given is, you've been given 2 points,
Ma'am,
3
it has
comma
to
minus
be
1
2:3.
and 8 comma 9. Yeah, it's 2 is to 3. And then you join these 2 lines. This is a line segment, right? This is now a line segment. And you have to determine the ratio in which this given line, y minus x. So let's say this is a line, y minus x plus 2 equals to 0. This is this line. You have to find the ratio in which this line divides these two. And actually, yeah, you have to find the ratio. So one way is to take m is to n, but it's always easier to take k is to 1. How do you do k is to 1? Why are these two equivalent? If you're writing it in m is to n ratio, then you can also write it into this form, right?
M by
If
N
the
is to
ratio
1.
is, right, you can write it as m by n ratio 1. These two mean the same thing, right? And you can take this entire thing to be k. So it's better for you to, instead of trying to find two values m and n, it's better for us to try to find only one value. So instead of writing this thing as m is to n ratio, we can write it as k is to 1 ratio. This is k parts, this is just one part. Okay. and then we'll find what K is. And this is the point, let's say this is the point of intersection of these two. Now this
Ma'am, point of intersection is 9,7.
5,
let's check
3
what it
it
is.
is.
But we don't need to find the point of intersection. If you look at it carefully, this point of intersection satisfies two things. One is, I don't think you need to find P. P satisfies first, P lies on the line L. Let's call this line L. So P satisfies this equation, right? And second is P divides this line segment. Let's call this line segment L dash in the ratio K is to 1. These two properties P satisfies, right? So let's start with the second property. P divides L dash in the ratio, this is your L dash, 3, minus 1 and 8, 9. And it's been divided into the ratio K is to 1 by the point P, right? So let's say your P is, you have to find the coordinates of this. So how do you find this?
P I have evaluated as 4 and 1.
Ma'am, we can just put some random value as x.
Both the equation intersection point means we subtracted. We have taken both the equation
Then we
and
can take x as k,
another.
and y value will be minus k, whatever is there in the equation.
What my approach was, we can find the slope of the line of where two coordinates are there, that is 2. Then we put y plus 1, we take one coordinate and find the equation of the line, and we put that x into the given equation.
Okay, there are a lot of approaches to this question, but the easiest one would be you just find this point P in terms of K. How do you do it? Your P point is going to be equal to, if the ratio is K is to 1 and these two are points, and how do you find the point P? You do 8K plus 3, right? 1 into 3, 8 into K. You cross multiply these with the x coordinates. And then you divide this thing by K plus 1, right? So this should be the coordinate. And the y coordinate should be 1 into minus 1. So it's minus 1. And K into 9. So it should be 9K by K plus 1. So this should be the point of intersection in terms of K. And we need to find K, right? That's our aim. And we know that this point, the second property of the second thing about this point is that it lies on the line L. That means it satisfies this line. What was the line? Y minus x plus 2 equals to 0. That means this P point satisfies this line. Now you put these values here. So you will get 9K minus 1 by K plus 1 minus 8K plus 3 by K plus 1 equals to minus 2, right? This implies this should be 9K minus 8K, so it's K, minus 1 plus 3, so it should be 2.
Minus 1 minus 3, ma'am. It is inside the bracket.
Okay. It's minus 3 and minus 1, so it should be minus 4 then. And this should be K plus 1, right? And this is equals to minus 2. So this gives you K minus 4 equals to minus 2K minus 2, right? Which is going to give you 2K on that side. So this will be K and this will be 2. So, wait.
3k equal to
3K.
2.
Okay.
So k will be 2 by
This is
3.
K equals to 3 by 2 by 3. Right. So So the value of k is, that means the ratio was k is to 1. That means your ratio was 2 by 3 is to 1, which is the same thing as 2 is to 3, right? Now the question, does it say that you have to find, because you've not been given anything in particular, so you can also we take natural numbers here. Ratios, we generally take m is to n, where m and n belong to natural numbers, right? This is how we take things in ratio. That's why we're not taking 2 is to 2 by 3 is to 1. So our ratio is then 2 is to 3. Is this fine?
Ma'am,
Does
can
anyone
you
have
just
any
go
doubt?
back to the diagram, whatever you have drawn?
This one?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Suppose suppose the intersection point of these two lines is 8, 9. Okay, that end point only.
Okay.
Let's say suppose that is the intersection point. Then what we can say about the m and n?
This is going to be complete then, right? Because there are 0 parts here. That means what this basically means is, when you divide it into m is to n ratio, it basically means m parts here. The total parts are m plus parts are on this part, n parts are on the other. Right? So when if
Okay.
this is how it is, 8 is 8, 9, and then you're asking this point divides this line segment, then it's essentially just 1 is to 0, right? Because this entire part is here and the other part is just nothing. So out of 1, and 1 plus 0 is just 1. So out of 1, the entire part is on this side, and on that side there's nothing, right?
Okay, okay. That means m and n can also take the value 0, right, ma'am?
If I don't think you have questions like that.
Okay,
You won't be asked such questions.
okay, 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 ma'am.
Are there any other doubts in this particular question? Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am, it is clear.
Okay. Let's try this question.
For me, it's coming 1 by 4.
Does anyone have any doubt in the question that we just discussed?
Me, it's coming 1 by 4. M and n ratio.
One, we just solved it here. Did you try some other method, or was it this method only?
A different approach. I got
Different
the
approach.
I got
What
one
approach did
ratio
you
as
try it with?
8k
Can't
plus.
hear you.
Got one ratio as 8k plus 3k plus 1. From that I equated, and my k came out to be 1 by 4. That is my m is to n.
Did you do it by this method or some other method?
No, I took different approach.
Which approach? Okay, let's see which approach you tried.
As I told,
Yeah.
I found the slope to be 2, and then from this given p1, like 3 comma minus 1, I find out the equation of the line, which is
Slope you
2x.
found to be 3.
No, slope I found to be 2, not.
Okay.
So putting point 3 comma minus 1,
Slope of what? Slope of this line segment or the other line?
I wanted to find the equation of the line. This, yeah, 8,
This line.
9, and yeah, this line.
Okay, if you will find the equation of this line, it doesn't make sense because we don't need the line.
But
If you're trying to find the equation of this line, and then you are
put
to
y
find the
in.
point of intersection.
Yes,
Is it?
yes,
Okay.
correct.
So the slope is going to be of this line, it's going to be 9 minus 1, so it's 10, and then 8 minus 3 is 5, so it's going to be 2, right? And then what did you do?
I
Okay.
put 3 minus
X
1.
minus 3 2 times y.
Y plus 1.
So this is going to be y equals 2x minus 6 minus 7, right? This is going to be the equation of this
Yes.
line. Then the other
And then
line is,
take x is equal to 7 plus y by 2 and then put that x into the given equation.
okay, let's see what you got. What did you get by solving this?
By solving that, if I put x is equal to 7 plus y by 2, okay, that I got, and I put that into y minus 7 plus y by 2 plus 2 is equal to
Let's
0.
solve it from here. It's x minus 2 from here. So if you equate x minus 2 and 2x minus 7, you're going to get x equals 5. Y you will get, if you put y here or here, you'll have 5 minus 2, so y will be 3. So your point is 5, 3. Did you get that point?
No, I think I made some mistake here.
Okay.
Okay,
This
thank
is
you.
the
I will
point then.
check.
Okay. Can we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
And try this one. Is anyone done doing this question?
Ma'am, the answer should be 4 by 3.
Okay, let's see what the answer is. Let's first understand what the question says. It says that you've been given a line. Let's say this is your xy plane, and this is your line. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Then this line L and the m-intercept, the x-intercept is given to be m. This point is given to be m. This point is given to be n. And it says if point P divides the line segment mn internally in the ratio 2:1, then you have to take a point P. Let's take this point P. This is P point, and it divides this line, mn line, in the ratio 2:1.
Ma'am,
Be careful of
ma'am, x intercept, we should mention m on x intercept, no?
Yeah, thank you. Otherwise,
Ma'am,
this would
is it 4 by
this
3?
was let's check what will it be or not. This is n and this is m. The x-intercept is given to be m and the y-intercept is given to be n. And it says that mn line is divided in the ratio 2:1. So 2 should be here and 1 should be here. Right? Then find the slope of the line joining the origin. This is the origin 0, 0, and this is the point P. So you have to find the slope of this line. Or this L2. First, you have to find the x and y intercepts. So x-intercept is you put y equals to 0. If you put y equals to 0, you will get this thing. Minus 2 by 3 x plus 4 equals 0. And then when you solve it, you will have minus 4 on this side and then 3 by minus 2. So it's just 6. So x-intercept should be 6. Y-intercept should be x equals to 0. So you get y equals to 4. You directly get 4. Y-intercept is 4, right? The points are 0, 4. And this implies 6, 0, right? This is 6, 0 point. This point is 0, 4. And you have to find the point P. That divides this entire thing in the ratio. Here we had 2 and here we had 1, right? Yes. So if we'll apply this formula for the point which divides a line segment in a given ratio m is to n. So the formula is, if the ratio, should I write the formula or should I directly use it?
And 2, 0.
You can directly
Will get-
use, ma'am.
Directly use it, ma'am.
You just have to cross multiply for x coordinate of the point of intersection. So x coordinate of P is 2 into 0, which gives you 0, plus 1 into 6, which gives you 6 by 2 plus 1, 3. So this is going to be 2.
Sorry for the interruption, but
Yes.
will it affect my result if I take 2 that side and 1 this side rather than 1 and 2?
Yeah, it's going to change things, right? If instead of taking these are entirely, so if this is your line and you're saying this is 2 is to 1 ratio, 2 is to 1, right? And this is 1 is to 2 ratio. Obviously, it's going to change things. Your point changes. This is a different point, this is a different point, right?
Then I've taken reciprocal.
Okay. Then you will get wrong answer. Okay. So this is,
8 by 3.
and for the y coordinate of P, you will have
4
2
by
into
3.
4, which is 8, and 1 into 0, 0 by 3. So it should be 8 by 3. Or is it?
Yes, ma'am, it is 8 by 3.
Yes, ma'am. 2, 8 by 3.
All right. So your point of this point P is 2, 8 by 3. And you have to find the line joining 0, 0, the slope of the line, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have to find the slope of the line joining 2, 8 by 3 and 0, 0. And that is given by the same formula y1 minus y2 by x1 minus x2. So you will get, in this simply take 8 by 3 here, 8 by 3 minus 0 and 4 minus 0.
4 by 3.
Yeah,
You're
8
going to
by
get 4 by
6.
3. So this should be the answer then. 4 by 3. Required slope. If this is okay with everyone, if this question is fine with everyone, can we move to the next question?
Yes.
Is it clear to
Yes, ma'am.
everyone? Oh,
In the previous question number 5,
this one?
yeah. So is that the only method to find the coordinates of the intersection point?
No, this isn't the only method. You have other methods. Like instead of you can in this method we didn't find the coordinates of P, right? We directly found the value of K without finding the point P. But what you can do is you can try to find the equation of this line, and the other line's equation is already given to you. Then you can find the intersection of those two. That point will be P, right?
Okay, the thing we did on this side.
And then, sorry, what?
The one which with
Like your voice is not clear. I can't hear you.
earlier we have done that, right? Someone suggested that. So that's the method.
It's still, I'm not very sure of what you're trying to say. Just put it in the chat box. Maybe that will be better. Can someone else tell me what is the exact question? If others are able to hear clearly.
Please, we can move to the next question.
Yeah, maybe they're typing something. Yeah, it's the other method is similar to what this the other person suggested when we were doing it, and not similar. It's the exact same method. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now try this question. Meanwhile, others are trying this question. I'm taking a query from the comment box, this chat box. But someone has a doubt in if y m is to n is the same as k is to 1. It's not the k is to 1 where your k is m by n. This is the same as m by n is to 2. Why is it so? This means when you write m is to n, it basically means this is a line, and then this line is divided into m plus n parts. And then the m parts out of these m plus n parts lie here. If this is m ratio n, then m parts lie here. 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, and m parts lie here. And the remaining n parts lie on the other side of this point, from here to here. This is what m plus n, this is what m is to n ratio means. And this would mean, then in the same way, this would mean you are dividing your line into m plus 1, m by n plus 1 number of partitions, right? This is going to give you m plus n by n. Just have it as
Can you scroll a bit up?
this. This just means you're dividing it into 1 plus n by n.
Ma'am, can you scroll bit up the table?
Yeah, this.
Thank you.
When you do m by n plus 1, it means one part is here, this, and the m by n parts are here, which is essentially the same as if you take, when you write m is to n, this is basically m by n. Or how do I say this. You can have your 1 as, you can write m plus n plus 1 as n by n, then you will have m plus n by n. So this means now you have numbers everywhere, right? So this means let's have numbers there. If you have 2 by 3 plus 1, okay, this table is also required.
It's coming out to be 16.
Okay, let's see if it's 16. We'll do that this question in a while. Let's just address this query first. Why these two ratios are same? Because this means on this one side you have m by m plus n parts. On this other side you have n by n
Yeah,
plus
it's 16.
this one means this, and this one means this. This would just, if you solve this entire thing, you will only have this thing, m by m plus n. And there you will have n plus n. If you solve this thing, you will get this only. And if you solve this thing, you will get this. That's why these two ratios are same. This has been discussed in a very elaborative manner. Otherwise, it's kind of understood by these two ratios are same. Okay. Then coming to this one. So I guess this is the table given to you. One entry is missing here. This is the line, the regression line. And for all 5 observations, the sum of squared errors is given to be 10. So the formula for sum of squared errors is first you find the yi's here. So that, how do you do that? You put x equals to 1 here. For x equals to 1, your y1 or your y,
5.
let's call this cap. So your y1 cap becomes 2 times 1 plus 3. So it's 5. For x equals to 2, your y2 cap becomes, you put 2 here. So you get 2 times 2 plus 3, which is 7. Then you put 3. And your y3 cap becomes 3, 2, 6, and then 9. For 4, the y4 cap becomes 4 times 2 and 3. This is 11. And then for x equals to 5, your y5 cap becomes, let's call this value, let's use a notation for this, let's call it k. So if this missing entry is k, then this should be, oh, it actually doesn't matter, even if you don't take it to be k, because you have to find it. So if you'll put 5 here, you'll get 2 times 5 plus 3, which gives you 30. So these are the values 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. And then your formula for SSC is
Y minus 2, x minus 3.
Y minus y1 cap squared plus y2 minus y2 cap squared, and this is still the number of y's you have, right? The number of observations that you have, and then this is your sum of squared errors, right? So if you take these things, you'll have 6 minus 7 squared, so it is so it's 6 minus 5 squared first, then you have 6 minus 7 squared, then you have 10 minus 9 squared, let's call this entry K.
7 minus
11 minus 11, and then 5 minus K squared.
Ma'am, should that be 5 or
Is
it should be of 2 into 5 plus 3, 13.
13 here, right?
13.
It should be 13 minus K squared. And this XC is given to be 10. Okay, so this thing becomes 6 minus 1. So this is 1. This is 1. This is also 1. This is 0. And this is K minus 13 squared equals to 10. So this becomes K minus 13 squared equals 7, which gives you plus minus root 7. So there are two equations from here. One is K equals to 13 plus root 7, and the other one is K equals to 13 minus root 7. So, and now let's see how to eliminate, because the answer could only be 1, right? Let's check how to. It is known that on the 5th day, the actual number of drinks sold exceeded the value predicted by the regression line. So what's the predicted value here? On the 5th day, the predicted value is the value that you get by putting x equals to 5 in this equation, right? And that's 13. So your predicted value for day 5 is 13. You have to find the actual value. That's what we're trying to find. That means you have to take K greater than 13, right? It says it exceeds the actual value. Your actual value is 13 on 5th day, and K should exceed 13. Now, if you subtract something from 13, this is definitely not going to be. So
Will
this
be
will
less
be
value.
discarded. Right?
2.64.
So it is
Probably
15.64.
so this should be
Approximately will be 16.
okay. So the answer should be 13 plus root 7. You can try to find what root 7 is. And what
2.64.
okay. This should be,
And 13 plus 2 point
13
something.
plus 2.64, so 15.64. Approximately 60.
so if you have to round off to the, is it given?
Yes,
Nearest
ma'am.
integer, you have to round it off to nearest integer. So it should be 16. The nearest is 16 to this one. The answer should be 16.
Ma'am,
This
if it is 15.44, then the nearest would be 15, right?
should be 16. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then this is the next question. Does anyone have any doubt in the previous question? This is the next question. Give this question a try. And if anyone has a doubt in any of the previous questions, we can discuss that. Meanwhile, others are trying this one.
Ma'am, the answer should be 8 square units.
Okay, let's check. So first, what's the area? What's the formula for the area of a triangle? You have to find the area of a triangle that has vertices x1, y1, x2, y2, and x3, y3. Then the area is given by half mod of x1, y2 minus y3 plus x2, y3 minus y1 plus x3, y1 minus y2. Right? And you have to find the area of the triangle, not the one that is formed by these three vertices, but the one that is formed by the image of these vertices about the y-axis, right? So let's first, although you don't need to find the image because the area is going to be same. We'll discuss that too. But let's first see about how do you find the points. If you reflect a point about x-axis, y-axis, and y equals to x, like let's see. So if you have a point xy, let's say, and reflection of xy about y-axis is basically you keep y constant and you change the
Is
sign
it
of x.
6 squares?
We'll see what the answer is. Let's first discuss how you find the reflections. Although this is not needed for the question, but we'll still discuss this thing. The reflection of a point about y-axis is you keep the y coordinate same and you change the sign of the x coordinate. So it should be minus x comma y. Then we have reflection of point xy about x-axis. This should be equal to x kept as it is and
It's
the
coming
sign of
out
y
to be
is changed.
6 only.
Okay. Then we have reflection of xy about the line y equals to x, which is given by y x. And finally, the reflection of xy about origin. So that is minus x comma minus y. These are all type of reflections that you need to know. Now let's try to do this question. So you have points 1, 2. Please mute yourself. Whoever's on unmute. Okay. The other point is minus 4, 6 and 3, minus 2, right? Yeah. These are the 3 points. Now, if you have, let's say you have 3 points here, and then you take the reflection of these 3 points about y-axis. That means this point, the height does not change. You just have to take the reflection of this, the mirror image of this when this is the mirror, right? This point becomes this point becomes this, and this point becomes this, right? Now, if you look at this, the distance between these 3 points is not changing, right? The distance between this and this point is the same as the distance between this point and this point because they've been moved by equal distances, right? If this is moved x, actually 2x units. If this is moved in this direction, then this is also moved here, right? So the point is that the distance between 2 points does not change when you take the reflection about y-axis or x-axis. So it
Uh,
doesn't change. In fact, yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you can do the same illustration for about x is equal to y and about origin. how
Okay.
that will look.
So let's say you have this.
We don't need a point, just a visualization of
Okay.
the other thing.
If you have this as your coordinate plane, let's say you have to find the image of 1 comma 2 is here, right? 1 units on the x-axis and 2 units on the y-axis. So it's here. Let's say it's here 1 comma 2. Then about y-axis, you'll have it here. So your x, what happens when you take about y-axis is your x coordinate becomes negative. It's the reflection about this line, right? So you take this distance and the same distance here. So this distance is 2, right? So you take this distance here. So this becomes minus 2. Sorry, this distance is 1, right? This distance is 1. So you take this distance as minus 1. So this becomes minus 1, comma 2. So the reflection about y-axis is this. Now, if you have to take the reflection about x-axis, then what you do is you keep your x coordinate same and you change your y coordinate in this manner. So this distance is, this height is 2, right? And you take the same height here. So this point becomes 1 because x coordinate, this distance is not changing, right? This was also at distance 1 from here. This is also at distance 1 from here. And this becomes minus 2. So this is about y-axis. This is about x-axis.
X, the y is equal to x.
And then you have y equals to x. So your y equals to x, if you will take, if I have to draw it accurately, it will be, because 2 point lies on that, right? So, and this is 1, 2. So if your 1, 2 is here, your 2, 2 is going to be here, right? Somewhat here. So this line is going to be like this. This is your y equals to x line. And this point lies above the y equals to x line. If you have to take the reflection here, what happens is your y changes to x and x changes to y. So this becomes this thing. So initially you had 1 here. This becomes 1. Your y coordinate becomes 1 and your x coordinate becomes 2. So what you're doing is you're going about y-axis. If this is your point, you first, what if this is xy? Then you keep your height same and shift this x on this line. So y is same and x is being shifted to this line. This line is y is equals to x, right? And if you shift this point on this line, then this point will become y, right?
Okay.
This point will be y, like this point is going to be 2 comma 2 if it's shifted on this line. And then you shift it. Now you keep this thing as is.
So a point
And
3
you,
comma 2 will become 2 comma 3.
yeah,
Okay.
this point xy, first it becomes yy when it's shifted to this line, and then it becomes yx. When you move it, x distances below. So here you're shifting, what you're doing here is, you're keeping y as is, and you're shifting this point on this line. And what you're doing here is, you're keeping y as is, you're not changing the, you're changing the height, you're not changing your x coordinate, you're keeping this x coordinate the same, and you're changing your y.
Okay.
You're going the same distance down as was here. So this distance was, to be precise, this distance was this, you move this distance there, that's it. This becomes xy. Is this okay?
Yes.
Do we need more clarification on how this is done? How this point is shifted to this point? Basically, what happens is you want this. The idea is that you draw a line here, which is perpendicular, and you want these two distances to be same. That's the idea. Is
Yes,
that okay?
ma'am, got it.
So the reflection about y equals to x is you drop a perpendicular here, and then you want this point to be on this perpendicular. So let's say if this is a point and this perpendicular distance of this point from this line is, let's say it's root 2. So you want the same distance root 2 to be extended on the other side of this line, root 2. You want this line to be extended, and then you want root 2 distance on this line, on the other side of this y equals to x line. Is that okay? That's the geometrical meaning of what we're doing here when we say we're reflecting about y equals to x. Is this okay?
Yes.
Okay. And when we are reflecting about x 0 0, let's say you're reflecting about origin. Let's say this is your point x comma y. So what you do is you first join. That's what the reflection about 0 0 means. I'm just telling you the meaning of it. The point that you will get after reflection is minus x comma minus. We can obviously derive how it's minus x comma minus y, but that's not needed. So I'm just giving you the idea, the geometrical idea behind it. What do we mean when we say it's reflected about 0?
So any point in the second quadrant will, if we drop reflection, that will fall in fourth quadrant.
Yeah, about 0 0. If you are in first quadrant, in second quadrant, if you will take, it will fall in the fourth quadrant. Right? If you're
Okay,
taking
got
about
it.
0 0.
Got it. Got it.
And so what we do here is we first find the distance, we find this line, and then we extend it on the, obviously it's a line, so it's extended on the other side too. So we join these. If you have to find the reflection of this about 0 0, then you first join 0 0 and this point, and then you draw a line from that. So this is the line. And let's say this distance is, let's say this distance is 1. Then you want one distance here on this line, on the other side. So the point that cuts one distance from 0 0 on this line is going to be the reflection of this point about 0 0. Is that okay? Basically, x comma y and minus x comma minus y have to be on equal distance from 0 0 on this line. Is that okay? That's what it means. If we were to make it uncomplicated, it simply means about reflection about 0 0 means the distance of xy, and if let's say x dash y dash is the reflection of this about 0. And this means the distance between xy and 0 0 should be equal to distance between 0 0 and xy. So this will be, is that okay? So if you're taking this point about 0 0, it will be minus 1 comma minus 2. So it will be here minus 1 comma minus 2. This is reflection about 0 0. We'll move to the next question. Oh, we're not done with this one, right? So the area of what we were trying to say here is that if you have this triangle and then you reflect all the points, so if this gets reflected about y-axis, then every point on this line also gets reflected on the other side, right? And nothing changes. It's basically the same triangle with same dimensions, same angles between them. What's changing is only the position. Only the position of this triangle has changed. That's it. When you reflected about any of the axes. That means the area of the triangle formed by these 3 points is the same as the area formed by the reflection of these 3 points about y-axis. So we can just simply find the area of the triangle formed by these 3 points, and the points were these, right? So let's try to find the area. So area is half. Let's call this x1, x2, y, so y1, x, y1, y2, and this is x3, y3. the x1, which is 1. Then y2 minus y2. So it's minus 4 plus 2. And next up we have x2, which is minus 4. And y3 minus y1. So it's minus 2 and minus 2. And then finally we have 3. And we have 2 minus 6. This becomes this. This is half minus 2. This is just
plus 16.
we've not made any mistake here, right? In the signs and all. Okay. Minus 4 and minus 4, so it's going to be plus 16. And then here you have 2 minus 6 is minus 4 and the is minus 12. So this should be half and this is minus 14 and 16. So this is going to be 2. I think we've made a mistake. Applying the formula.
Yes, I guess as you are taking the reflection about y-axis, so minus 4 and minus 6 is already in the region, but ideally we should be taking minus 1 and 2 as a reflection, and minus 3 minus 2.
We have not taken the reflection of any of these points. We're just simply trying to find the area using these 3 points.
Okay.
We're not taking
Ma'am,
the reflection.
y2 is 6 and you taken minus 4.
Ma'am, in first bracket.
Yes, ma'am. In y2 minus y3, you have written minus 4 plus 2 in that. But it should be y2 minus
X1
y3, it should be 6 minus minus 2. That case.
y2 minus y3, so it should be minus minus 2, it should be 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you will have 8 here.
So 16
And
minus 4.
gives you 4. This will give you 12.
So area will be 6.
Ma'am, why we have not changed the sign values of x? Yes.
If you want to, this is going to add to your solution. It's going to take more time because it means the same thing as we discussed. The area of the triangle formed by these 3 points and the area of the triangle formed by the reflection of these 3 points about y-axis, it's the same. The area of this and the area of this is same. You've been given these 3 points and now you'll find the reflection about y-axis and then you'll find the area of this, which is the same as this one. So just find this one. Why to do the extra work of changing signs and all? Is that okay?
Yes.
You can change the signs and then you can, yeah.
So in case in such situation, we should not be focusing on which axis or which thing they are asking us the reflection. We can directly
No.
find the area.
Yeah, because the distance, nothing changes there. When every point is getting reflected about y-axis or about x-axis or about y equals to x, it means the same thing. Y equals to x, we'll have to check. If you have y equals to x thing, I mean
Yes,
that
XY interchanges.
the point is that what we're doing here is this is the line, right? And
But the
when we
area
do
will
the
be same.
change, we draw the perpendicular here. I think the area shouldn't change because we're just taking the reflection about a mirror. So if this is a mirror and you're taking the reflection of these 3 points about this mirror, then the area does not change. The area is not going to change in this case either. So even if it's reflection about y equals to x line, you can take the same points. You don't have to find the reflection. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Can we move to the next question?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. This is the next question. Give this question a try. Actually, we're not left with a lot of time. Let's just do this question in the class. This says the line passes through the origin and makes an angle of pi by 4 with the line x minus y plus 1 equals to 0. So we have been given pi by 4, and then there's, let's just call this line L1, and the other line, let's call that line L2, required line. We know that if the slope of this is M2, the slope of L1 is M1, then we know tan of theta is equals to M1 minus M2 by 1 plus M1 M2, where theta is angle between two lines, L1 L2, and M1 M2. I think this increase M1 M2 are products of L1 and L2 respectively. Theta is given to be, it says this line makes an angle pi by
45
4 with the other line. That means the theta is 45. This is tan pi by 4. And the slopes are given to be, so the slope of one of the lines is given, right? It's 1. So where M1 is 1. And M2 we have to find. Becomes 1 minus M2, and here it becomes 1 plus M2. And tan pi by 4 is
1 by root
1.
1.
It's 1. So you will have 1 minus M2 by 1 plus M2 ka mod equals this. And this gives you 1 minus M2 equals 2. So if you remove the mod sign from both, how do you remove the mod sign? It becomes plus minus here. So your 1 plus M2 will become plus minus 1 minus M2. So these are two equations. One is 1 plus M2 equals to 1 minus M2. And the other one is 1 plus M2 equals M2 minus 1. This equation, if you look at this thing, this equality is inconsistent, right? Because this equality gives you 1 equals to minus 1, which is not true. So this cannot be possible. So only this case is possible. That means your M2 should be equals to 0. So the slope of this other line is 0. And you have to find the equation of this line. Equation, you need two pieces of information to find the equation of a line, right? So one is slope.
One is point where line.
Slope is given to you. And the other is given, it's given to you that it passes through the origin, right? That means passing point is given to you, 0, 0 passing point.
Y equal to 0.
Because it's given, right, that the line passes through the origin and it makes an angle of pi by 4 with this line. That means 0, 0, the origin should be a passing point.
It's a
So,
horizontal line.
yeah. So let's try to find this. Your M2 is 0. So you do y minus 0 equals x minus 0 and your slope is 0. So this gives you y equals to 0 line, which is exact. So you've just been asked to find the equation of the line. The equation of line is this, y equals to 0. If this is clear, can we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am. Move next question.
Ma'am.
Okay. So this is next question. Give this question a try. Let's do it here only. So this question is, there are three lines given to you, and you have to find, it says the R relation, it consists of the point of intersection of these three lines. So it has point of intersection of L1, L2, then point of intersection of L2, L3, and then point of intersection of L3 and L1. This is your relation. Let's
Should we
find
be
the
solving by L1, L2, and then L2, L3 like that to find the intersection point?
No, it's not. That's what I'm trying to tell. The relation, it doesn't say the point of intersection of all of the three taken together. It's not the point of intersection of L1, L2, and L3. It's the point of intersection of two taken at a time.
And then it should be mentioned in the question for the clarity.
Yeah, it should be mentioned. It's not very appropriately phrased, but that's what it means. It won't be phrased like this in the exam. In exam questions, you'll have absolute clarity.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Then it would be fine.
So let's find the intersection of L1 and L2, which is x. Let's have x equals to, this will be 2y minus 1 from L1. And for L2, you will have, okay, let's solve it for y only, because x1 looks a little fraction sort of thing. This will give you y equals to both fractions. Okay. This is, or you can just simply use this thing. The elimination, 1x minus 2y equals minus 1, and 2x plus y equals 8. So let's multiply this with 2. Entire equation. So you will get 4x plus 2y equals to 16. And then you just add these two equations. So you get 5x equals to 15, which means your x is 3. The intersection of L1, L2, x coordinate of it is 3. And if we put 3 here or here in any of these two equations, 3 minus, let's put it here. We'll put it here, 3. You have 6, and then your y will be 2. So your y is going. That means the point of intersection is 3, 2. Okay, it's in the relation. Have 2x plus y equals 8 and 3x minus y equals 2. So if you just add these two equations, you have 5x equals 10, which means x is 2, which means 2, 4. Your y is 4.
4.
So the point is going to be 2, 4. And that's also in the relation. And let's finally try to find point of intersection of L3 and this y equals and x minus y equals minus 1. So I'll just multiply this equation. Both the signs are same, right? Let's multiply this equation. Better this with a minus 3. You get minus 3x plus 6y equals 3. And then if you will add these two equations, you will get 5y equals 5, which means your y is 1. And if you put y equals to 1 here, you will have 2, and on that side it will be x equals to 1. So the point is, that's also the relation. 1 is to 1. These are the points, point of intersection of the lines taken 2 at a time. And all of these points are mentioned here in the relation. That means this is correct. The second option asks about the domain of the relation. So domain of the relation is basically if your relation is if you have a relation, so does it ask about the domain or okay, it asks about the codomain. So a relation is, let's say this is the domain and this is the codomain. So your first entries have to come from the domain and the second entries have to come from the codomain. And we know that codomain, every point of codomain need not have a pre-image, right? So it's possible that your codomain is, if this is y1, here you have y2, here you have y3, then it's possible for the codomain to be y1, y2, y3 should be there. And other than that, you can have any other points, right? Range should be
Yes.
y1, y2, y3, and codomain could be y1, y2, y3, union some other set. It could be some other set.
Ma'am, is this domain and codomain defined for a relation also?
Yeah, domain simply means the point that the first entry, the x coordinates.
Okay,
It's
ma'am.
taken in the same manner as the function, except the fact that in a relation you don't need to have the image of every point here. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Even if you have to define the domain of a relation, it's not necessary. Let's say if this point is x1, this is x2, and this is x3. And we know that the domain must have x1, x2, and x3. But unlike a function, in a function, what you do is you would need only these 3 points. Other points can't be there, right? Because if they're there, they'll have to have an image too. That doesn't happen in a relation. So if this is a given relation, then your domain could be some other set too. That's fine. This is
Okay.
union. This is some other set. This set could be anything. Because we don't have a condition of the form that every element in the domain should have an image, right? That's not a condition on relations. That's
Okay, ma'am.
why it's possible to take union S here, some other set. The same way you can take union S here, where S could be any set. So you've been asked about the domain, the codomain of this relation. We know that this relation has 3 points. And for the codomain, you consider the y coordinate, right? So the y coordinate here is, in the first one, in your codomain, you must have 2. You must have 2. Then you must have 4 as well. And then you must have 1. So these points should be there. And other than these 3 points, you can have other points too. So let's say what this says. It has 1, it has 2, and it has 4. So it has all the 3 points required for this set to be a domain. And this time your S is 7. In the given option, your S is 7. You can take this to be 7 or anything else for that. This option should be correct as well. Then coming to the third option, it says that your relation is transitive. So for you to check the transitivity of a relation, your relation again was 3, 2, 2,
2, 4.
4, and 1, 1. So for this to be a transitive relation, if AB and BC, this is
It's
only
not.
if these two are there, then if these two belong to the relation,
AC should be there.
AC should belong to the relation. And because 3, 2 is a point and 2, 4 is also a point that belongs to the relation, this should have meant that your 3, 4 belongs to the relation, which is not true, right? Not true. That's why it's not transitive. Is this okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we have two more questions. Okay. Let's do this one. This is a little different.
How many questions remains?
There are only two. And let's just do this one. The other one's not, I don't think that's something you wouldn't be able to do. This is also not something you wouldn't be able to do, but let's discuss this one at first. So,
Ma'am, your voice is again, we are
okay.
losing you.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, far better.
If you have been given a curve fx, what's given to you? You've been given a curve fx, and there is a variable here, k. Variable as in, it's not exactly a variable, it's an arbitrary constant, which is not known yet. And then you have to find the value of k so that SSE is minimum. So how do you minimize this? Let's just first find the SSE, right? So for SSE, what you do is, I'm just making it here, the Y gap thing I'm making here. So if I'll put x equals to 1, let's put 1 here. If we put 1 here, you will have -1, -3, and -5 plus k, right? So this gives you k minus 15, right? Your Y cap will be k minus 15. If you do x equals to 3, you will have 1, then you will have -1, and here you will have 3 minus 6, it's -3 plus k. This will be k plus 3. And for x equals to 5 and 6. 5, it's 3. Then we have 1, and then we have -1, right? 3, 1, and -1 plus k. So it's
K minus 3.
k minus 3. And then finally for this was what x equals to 5, and then for 6 you're going to
0.
have 0. So for 6, this is for 5, and for x equals to 6, we'll simply have 0 plus k, so it's just k. So we'll have y cap equals to just k. And then for the SSE, you will need it's -10. Here we have k minus 15. Here we have k plus 3. Here we have k minus 3, and here we have 0. Let's try to solve this thing, the remaining thing here. It is k minus 15 minus of -10. So it is k minus 15 plus 10, k minus 5 squared. Then k plus 3 minus 8, so it gives you k minus 5 squared again. Then here you have k minus 3 minus 2. This gives you k minus 5 squared. And here you have 0. And no, here we had k, right? Did we have
Yes, it
0
has
here?
K, ma'am.
Okay. So here we had k. This will be k minus 5. That's what I thought. There's a pattern here, right? This is k minus 5 squared. So this is 4 times k minus 5 squared. And you have to find the value of k such that SSE is minimum. For that, we find the derivative of the function. So your SSE is now a function of k. I hope you can see why it's a function of k, because your k is for now a variable, and you have to find the value of k such that this function becomes the least. It takes its minimum value. So how do we do this? We find the derivative of this SSE.
Ma'am, but here it is a square function, so the minimum value it can take 0. That's why at k equal to 5, it will be 0.
Yeah, that also you can do. But if you're not given that, in case, you're right. This is your SSE is basically just 4 and then it's squared with something. So for this function to be minimum, if you think of it logically, your k minus 5 squared, you want this thing to be 0 because this value cannot go below 0. 4 is positive, the square is positive, so this value can't go below 0. So this entire thing, the least value that 4 k minus 5 square can take is 0. That means you have to find the value of k such that this thing is 0. This will give you k minus 5 0 or k equals to 5. That's fine. But if you have been given a function which you can't solve by using logics, then what you do is you find the derivative. We've already discussed this thing in the previous lecture, I guess, where the derivative is simply, if it's a polynomial, which this is a polynomial. Can you guys see that this is a polynomial in k minus 5? If you take your variable to be k minus 5, then this is a polynomial in k minus 5.
Yes, ma'am.
And for polynomials, if you have x squared or 4x squared, how do you find the derivative of this? You just take
It will be 8x.
which have something like this, then you take the derivative of x. So the formula for the derivative of this something like this is you take the derivative of this entire thing, which is 4 into 2 k minus 5, and then you take the derivative of this thing too. But the derivative of this is 1. Derivative of k minus 5 is 1. That's why it's not needed here. So this becomes 8 k minus 5. And for you to find the minimum, the value of k such that SSE, this function becomes minimum, you equate the derivative equals to 0. And find the value of k. So you have to find the value of k such that the derivative of this function is 0. That gives you k is equals to 5. And if this confuses you, the derivative of this thing confuses you, what you can do is you can simply solve this k square plus 25 plus minus 10k. And we have discussed how to find the derivative of a polynomial. Then you can just do this thing. Find the derivative of this. It's going to be the same as this. And equate it equals to 0. To find the value of k, since k is equals to 5, that means for k equals to 5, I'll just write it down. To find minimum of or k such that if your SSE is a function of t, that is this thing, right? Then t such that SSE is minimum is found by taking the derivative of it and equating found by finding t such that this derivative is 0. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am. But ma'am, this derivative check, uh, like it doesn't confirm about minimum,
No,
only
it does
minimum,
actually,
right?
because
We can
In
also
in
get
cases of
maximum,
in cases of SSE, you always get the minimum one.
but if it is a cubic function, then we can get 2 points by equating that to 0. So in that case, we will not be sure about whether we will be getting maximum or minimum. So
In your first quiz, because I feel in first quiz you wouldn't be asked questions where you will have to use the concept of derivatives.
okay, ma'am. Ma'am, or we can also apply that quadratic formula, right? The vertex, this quadratic function will.
Yeah, you can also apply that. Yeah, actually, I just forgot. You have a formula to find the minimum of a quadratic, because this I forgot that this is a quadratic equation.
Yes, ma'am.
Quadratic equations minimum or maximum, which is also going to be the vertex of your quadratic equation, is given by, so if your quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, then the vertex is given by
Minus b by 2a.
minus b by 2a, comma f minus b by 2a. The vertex is a point, right? So this is the point on xy plane. Or x.
If a is positive, then minimum, a is negative, we'll be getting maximum.
You can also find that from e positive. This will be for everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, understood.
Shall we do the last question too? Or can you guys try this on your own?
We can try it, ma'am.
Okay. This is about, suppose you have 2 points, P1, P2, on the Cartesian coordinate system. Your P1 is, say, b comma minus 2, and your P2 is minus 1 comma 5. And then there is a line that passes through this point, which is L1. There's a line that passes through this point, which is L2. And for L1, the slope is given to be the x-intercept. X-intercept of L1 is given to be 1. And for L2, the information given is that makes an angle pi by 2. That means your L2 is perpendicular to L1. That's enough, right? To find anything regarding L2, you first need to find L1, right? So point is given to you and the x-intercept of L1 is given to you. That means another point on L1 is 1 comma 0. If the x-intercept is 1, that means the point is 1 comma 0. So 2 points are, one is this point, the other is this point. And then for you to find the equation, let's just find the slope first. So it will be minus 2 comma 0, it's minus 2. And then 3 comma 3 minus 1. So it's 2. It's going to be minus 1. So your slope here is minus 1. And we know L2 is perpendicular to L1. That means the slope of this line should be equal to 1, right? So we have the slopes of both the points and then we have the points too. We just have to find the point of intersection, right? Let's take this point. So the equation becomes minus 1, x minus 1 and y minus 0. And here the equation becomes y, the point is minus 5 and x plus 1. probe intercept form. This will be y equals to x plus 6. This will be y equals to minus x plus 1. So I have to find the point of intersection of these two. If you just equate the y coordinates of both, you will have minus x plus 1 equals x plus 6, which gives you 2x, and 2x equals 5 or minus 5? Minus 5.
Minus 5.
This gives you minus 5 by 2.
Option 4, I think.
And then y will be equals to minus 5 by 2 plus 6. So it's 6 times 12 minus 5 is 7 by 2. Right? So it should be 7 by 2.
Option 4.
Minus 5 by 2 and 7 by 2. So it's this one. Okay, so that was the last question. If there are any doubts in the questions that we discussed in this session, you guys can ask. Else we can end the session here.
Kindly share the question.
Do we have any doubts?
Kindly share the question sheet.
Share what?
Question sheet.
I can't hear you again.
The question sheet.
Yeah. Notes will be shared. They will be in the drive that has been shared. So if there are no other doubts, can we end this session here? Okay. So session here then. Bye guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am? Hello? Can anyone tell from where do I get the today's class note?
That would be uploaded in the extra content.
So sorry, your voice is not audible, I think.
Maybe they will upload it in the instruction sheet.
That would be uploaded in the extra content
for the week.
Supplementary content.
That's what.
Supplementary content, live session details, slides.
Okay, thank you so much.